Welcome, listener, to The Deep Dive. Today, we're stepping into the shadows. We've gathered some really unsettling true accounts.
These aren't just stories, are they? They're experiences that fundamentally challenge people's reality.
Exactly. We're going to explore these narratives, look at the details, the impact, and, well, the lingering questions they leave behind.
Case studies in the unexplained, almost.
You could say that, so get ready. For the people involved, these were terrifying realities. Okay, let's start in Virginia. We have an account from a former police officer. His career put him right in the path of a really dark series of events. It begins with a local legend, actually.
Oh, specific place?
Yeah, this upscale home. The story, the grim legend, is about a doctor who lived there years ago. He tried to perform surgery on himself.
On himself? Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, he numbed his stomach, but cut, well, way too deep. Disemboweled himself. Officers found him barely alive, actually holding his own intestines. He died later.
That's a dark history for that house indeed.
Definitely. So fast forward. Years later, the same officer gets a call. A young woman found dead by her older sister. And the address. It's in that same nice neighborhood.
The house from the legend.
He didn't say if it was the exact house, but the neighborhood, yes. And even pulling up, he said the place just felt wrong. A bad energy, he called it.
That's interesting, that immediate gut feeling.
Right. And then he sees the details. Countless empty energy drink cans scattered around. And a Ouija board just sitting there on the front patio table.
Okay, red flags already. Energy drinks, Ouija board, suggests something unusual is happening.
Inside, it gets worse. The young woman, Emily, she was in the basement. Unfinished. Dark. And the scene down there, same thing. More energy drinks, another Ouija board on a little coffee table.
Another one.
Yeah, and that's where they found her. Emily, 19 years old, she had hanged herself from a basement rafter, used an exercise band.
Oh, that's awful.
Her body was still swinging slightly, he said. Her face, well, he described it as blue, bloated. Just a horrible expression.
It's striking, isn't it? The officer's immediate sense of unease, the bad energy before finding the body, combined with the Ouija boards.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
Well, it raises questions. Was it just the tragic atmosphere, or, as the officer felt, something else? The Ouija board's presence immediately brings in cultural associations with, opening doors to things perhaps best left undisturbed. Even psychologically, it points toward the search for answers or connection outside the norm.
Well, the family, her parents and older sister, they arrived. They told the officer Emily had become obsessed with the Ouija board, staying up all night using it.
Obsessed. Why?
She believed she was talking to her dead boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she told them he was begging her to join him in the afterlife.
That's incredibly sad and disturbing. It frames her actions in a different, potentially darker light.
The officer just kept saying this house felt wrong. He was specific that the unease, this feeling of sickness in the basement, it wasn't just because of the body, it was something more. He said the call really messed with me for a while.
I can only imagine. It's a profoundly disturbing scene on multiple levels.
But it doesn't end there. Not even close. Not 2 weeks later to the day, he said he responds to this horrific car crash.
Another call. Related.
He didn't know it at first. He gets there, sees a convertible BMW wrecked, a woman in the driver's seat, broken neck, head twisted almost completely around.
God.
And maybe 25 feet away, a man, ejected. The top half of his head was just gone. Brain matter scattered. Just a brutal scene.
That is horrendous.
And then the identification comes in. The victims, they were Emily's parents.
No.
Yes, dead in this awful accident exactly 2 weeks after Emily died.
Exactly 2 weeks. That's chilling.
He had to break the news to the older sister, the only one left. Can you imagine? She inherited everything, sold it all immediately, bought a new house somewhere else, just wanted out.
Understandably. A fresh start, away from all that horror.
But the story still wasn't over. About a month after the parents' accident, another officer takes a call. Pedestrian struck by a car while jogging in her neighborhood.
Let me guess.
It was the sister.
Oh my God. Did she?
She survived for several weeks, actually, in a coma, but ultimately she didn't make it. The entire family wiped out in just over 2 months.
So connecting this back,
Yeah.
it really forces you to ask, doesn't it? Was this a sequence of unimaginable, tragic coincidences? Or, as the officer wondered, did something happen in that house? Did Emily's actions with the board maybe unleash something?
Something that followed them.
It's a pattern that's hard to ignore, psychologically speaking. Our brains seek cause and effect, especially with such concentrated tragedy. The idea of a curse or a malevolent force tied to the house or the Ouija board becomes a powerful, albeit terrifying, explanation.
The officer certainly leaned that way. His final thought was, either the house is cursed or Emily opened up something very dark. He was just grateful to be far away from it all.
You can't blame him. That's a weight to carry.
Okay, let's shift gears. Our next account takes us to Manila during the pandemic. A hospital, usually a place of healing, right? But for one patient, it became something else.
Okay, what happened?
This patient was admitted with severe pneumonia, really serious. While in the emergency room area, she sees this little toddler, maybe 3 or 4 years old, wearing a red polka dot dress, just kind of galloping around, no mask.
During the pandemic, in an ER.
Exactly. She thought it was strange, asked a security guard who confirmed, nope, no children allowed, made it even weirder, you know.
Definitely adds an unsettling layer, just a fleeting glimpse.
At first. But then later, she's admitted, confined up on the 5th floor. And she has this really weird dream, as she put it.
About the girl.
Yes, the girl in the red polka dot dress. But this time she's outside the ER in the dream, and she's weeping, but like in anger, and holding a hammer.
A hammer. That's quite a shift.
And screaming, "Pa, why did you leave me?" Pa apparently is a Filipino term for father.
Okay, so anger and abandonment.
In the dream, the patient gets scared, obviously. Afraid the girl's going to hit her with the hammer, so she runs up this dim stairwell, trying to get back to the 5th floor.
And the girl.
She chases her, but she's floating up the stairs after her. Floating.
Okay, that's classic nightmare fuel.
The patient said the climb felt endless, like over 20 floors, because the girl just kept coming, and the whole stairwell echoed with that screaming voice, "Pa!"
Terrifying. And then she woke up.
She woke up gasping, physically out of breath. Her oxygen levels had plummeted dangerously low. 2 nurses were already right there with her. They had to intubate her, and she was out for several days.
Wow. So the dream, or the terror of it, had a direct physical impact.
Yeah.
Waking up unable to breathe.
It seems like it. That physical manifestation is what's really unsettling here, isn't it?
Absolutely. The line blurs. You have the stress of the illness, potential for hallucination, sure. But waking up in acute respiratory distress after a dream about being chased and unable to escape, it's a powerful link. The body reacting to the dream state in such an extreme way.
So when she finally regained consciousness, she told one of the attending nurses about the dream. The girl, the dress, the chase.
And the nurse's reaction.
She just froze in shock, and then asked, did she have a polka dot dress on?
So the nurse knew.
Oh, yeah. The nurse told her that her dream, her story, was eerily similar to stories from at least 10 other patients over the decades.
10 others.
Yeah.
All involving the girl in the polka dot dress.
Yes. Appearing first in the ER area, then later in their dreams, chasing them. Always chasing.
Decades.
Hey.
So there is a backstory.
There is. The nurse shared it. It's kind of an open secret among the staff. More than 40 years ago, a little girl infected with dengue fever was brought in by her young Chinese father.
Okay.
For whatever reason, maybe she was illegitimate. They weren't sure. He just abandoned her there, left her at the hospital, and never came back.
Oh, the heartbreaking.
They didn't even have a proper ID for her. She eventually died alone. They buried her in the cemetery right across the street from the hospital. The nurses started calling her Sha. It's a Chinese Filipino term, apparently means youngest daughter.
Sha. And she wore
a polka dot dress.
Wow. So the staff all know this story.
They know of her, yes. They call it an open secret. None of the current staff have actually seen her ghost, but they all believe she exists.
Interesting. A collective belief, a piece of hospital folklore almost, passed down.
But here's the thing. She supposedly only reveals herself to certain patients.
Is there a pattern?
According to the nurse, yes. Patients who look East Asian are in their 20s, average build, about 5'8" tall, and critically ill, on the brink of death.
Like the patient telling the story.
Exactly. The patient wondered if she, reminded the girl of her father, the one who left her.
That's a haunting thought. Is Shai just replaying her trauma, the abandonment, the chase maybe symbolizing her fear? Or is it more active? Is she looking for something? Or someone?
The patient wondered that too. Was the girl trying to, take someone with her? Looking for that father figure?
It taps into deep questions about haunting. Residual energy versus an intelligent searching spirit. The consistency of the sightings, the specific target profile. It leans towards something more than just a psychic recording. But again, folklore and belief play a huge role in shaping these interpretations within the hospital culture.
Well, this patient survived by some miracle, she said. She felt like the dream was like running from death itself. But looking back, she also felt this pity, wondering if Shah just desperately wanted her father. She said the whole thing, terrifying as it was, woke her up, gave her a second chance at life.
A profound experience, however you interpret the cause. It served as a catalyst.
Definitely. Okay, one more. This one hits closer to home for many, maybe. A modern apartment, a young couple, and sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis.
Okay.
A common, yet often terrifying phenomenon.
Right, but this one has a twist. So the girlfriend has suffered from sleep paralysis pretty regularly, like weekly, for about 3 years. Standard symptoms, completely paralyzed, can only breathe and move her eyes.
That alone is frightening.
And during these episodes, she sees something, a figure, dark, tall, moving around their apartment. Sometimes it just stands in the doorway staring.
The classic shadow person archetype, often reported in sleep paralysis.
Sometimes, she says, it presses down on her chest, making it hard to breathe.
Also very common, the feeling of suffocation or pressure.
Now, she describes herself as a skeptic, doesn't really believe in ghosts or anything, but these episodes still terrify her. Usually she wakes her partner up by breathing really fast and loud. He wakes her fully, and poof, the figure is gone.
A coping mechanism she's developed.
Yeah.
Using sound to alert him.
Exactly. But here's the kicker. The partner has been keeping a secret. For the past 2 months, he's been seeing the figure too.
Wait, he sees it. When?
Right after she wakes him up with her breathing. He sees it, just for a moment, bent over her, pressing down on her chest. The exact thing she describes feeling.
He sees it physically interacting with her, essentially, during her paralysis episode.
That's what he says. And he notes it always vanishes the instant he properly acknowledges it or moves to wake her fully.
Okay, that is significantly different from typical single-person sleep paralysis accounts.
And it gets weirder. He's also seen it when he's alone. Sometimes he'll just see it standing in the hallway staring at him.
When he's fully awake, not in a sleep state.
Fully awake, he claims. And if he pretends not to see it, it just disappears after a moment. Like it knows he's seen it.
This is where it really challenges conventional explanations. Sleep paralysis is understood neurologically. Hallucinations, the feeling of presence, chest pressure, they fit the physiological state of rematonia overlapping with waking consciousness.
Right, the brain's awake, but the body isn't.
Exactly. But when a second person, seemingly fully awake, reports seeing the same distinct figure, interacting with the paralyzed person, and even seeing it independently, that requires a different framework.
It moves beyond just her mind, potentially.
Potentially. Skeptics might point towards shared delusion, folie à deux, or suggestibility. Maybe the partner is experiencing hypnopompic hallucinations himself upon being woken suddenly. But his separate sightings and seeing it over her, that's the detail that really pushes the boundary. It suggests, or at least mimics, an external entity.
So now the partner is wrestling with this huge dilemma. Does he tell her?
Tell her that her terrifying but supposedly internal experience might actually be real, or at least shared.
Yeah. Does he confirm her worst fears? She's already terrified, but he says at least she believes it's all in her head. That gives her some kind of control, maybe.
A fragile sense of control, perhaps. Telling her could shatter that, validate the terror in a way that makes it external, inescapable.
Plus, they can't afford to move, so they're stuck there, potentially, with this.
It's an incredibly difficult ethical situation. The weight of shared experience versus the potential psychological damage of confirming such a terrifying reality. What does he prioritize? Honesty, or a perceived peace of mind? There's no easy answer.
His current thinking is just to keep it secret. He wrote, I think we can both live with this as long as I never tell her the truth. But he's clearly struggling, asking for advice on an impossible situation.
An impossible situation indeed. It leaves you wondering about the nature of perception, shared reality, and what happens when those lines blur so terrifyingly.
So 3 stories, a house possibly cursed by tragedy, a hospital haunted by a lost child search, a modern apartment terrorized by a shared shadow. Each account leaves you with that lingering chill, doesn't it?
They absolutely do. They probe the edges of our understanding psychology, folklore, trauma, and maybe, just maybe, something genuinely unexplained interacting with our world.
Makes you think what unseen things might be influencing our own lives, our own perceptions.
It certainly invites that question, doesn't it? How much is internal, how much is external, and how often do they intersect in ways we don't fully grasp?
Yeah.
Exactly. And remember, these are just a few glimpses. People experience these kinds of profound, unsettling events all the time. If these deep dives into the unsettling have resonated with you, maybe send a shiver down your spine, then you're in the right place.
We hope it sparked some thought, some curiosity.
Yeah. We encourage you to like this exploration, share it with anyone else who finds these intersections of mystery and reality fascinating, and definitely subscribe to our channel, Horror Docx, for more. We'll keep digging into these kinds of accounts.
Exploring the shadows.
Until next time, stay watchful. And, well, sleep tight, if you can.